Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here with...
Paulie presents you. This is the Moo Cow. Moo!
From Indie Film Cafe. This is our end of the month haul, and we decided to combine and do a one for you Blu-ray. Now, I'm just gonna let you guys know, I'm not really doing much with Blu-ray Hunter. This will probably be all you guys are gonna get every month. I've just been so focused on Indie Film Cafe and a bunch of the other podcasts that I'm doing. I just don't have time to focus on a million projects. I would love to.
Right.
One day, if I get enough money or something and I'm like able to do that, then yes. But
And it's the same thing with me for Trolling for Stinkers. I don't have the time to go out there and do all this stuff. So it just seemed better to sort of do an end of the month haul. One for DVDs and one for Blu-rays. It just seemed to make more sense to do that.
So there you go, because he doesn't know when he's going to go out and get stuff, and if we did it every week, we might only have like one or two titles sometimes.
Yeah, it's not as much fun.
In fact, this week I didn't really pick up that many Blu-rays, but the weeks before I gotten enough. So I mean, the end of the month haul makes more sense.
Right.
But I've got more than he does for Blu-rays, so I'm gonna go start and do the first. I guess 6.
And he's always going to have more than me because I tend to only get certain films in Blu-ray. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I'm gonna show those on the next one. All right, so I'm gonna do my first 6. So first off is Split, which I got at Target, and it just has like an alternate ending, which me and my friend watched and we didn't like at all. It was a horrible alternate ending. I can see why they changed it. And there's a making of Split and the filmmaker's eye, thing.
that's James McAvoy, right?
James McAvoy and
that's M. Night Shyamalan?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that film.
It is basically a movie about a James McAvoy plays a guy with split personalities, multiple personality disorder. I forgot what there's a clinical name for it now and everything. The problem is all those personalities are just, obviously he's crazy, but there's one personality that they're all afraid of, which has not ever came out, and he's known as the Beast and everything. And the Beast wants young women and everything.
The Beast always wants young women.
And so he kidnaps these 2 girls, and each character is completely a character. Like you wouldn't even almost think it's the same guy playing each one. James McAvoy should have gotten a fucking Oscar for this role because he was so good. And I'm excited because they're bringing the next one is bringing him back for the next movie and everything. And
so it's actually a decent film.
It is. It's a really good. I didn't really like was it the children one that he did. I can't even remember what it was called. It was like they would go to grandmother and grandfather's house, and it turns out crazy stuff happens. I don't want to give it away because there's a twist, but it's not a twist that you can't already see. The twist in this movie is pretty cool too. This is a good movie. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it already. Then of course I've got the classic Hitchcock movie, To Catch a Thief, which has commentary and a bunch of features. Like this is loaded with features. I love it. It's one of my favorite movies. So I was very happy. And Grace Kelly, oh my god.
One of my favorite movies that Grace Kelly was ever in.
Yeah, I loved her in that, and I loved her in all 3 of the Hitchcock movies that she did. And kind of wish that she had done more, but unfortunately she became a princess. And
as it happens,
and who's gonna turn down being a princess?
I know I wouldn't.
I'm sure you wouldn't.
Princess Lady.
Princess Lady. This is our lady right down here. All right. So also, A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yay.
This is pretty cool because this is like glow in the dark, and this is a steelbook.
Nice.
And it was pretty neat. This came out, and they only had a certain number of copies. I don't know why they did that because they reissued them, and I think they're putting out more later. I think maybe they wanted to see how well they do, but they went like that, and everybody went crazy.
And what do they generally run for the steelbooks?
This was like $15.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was about $15 or something, maybe a little less. It was pretty good for. Actually, was it 15 or was it 10?
And
It was something like that.
does it have like commentary and extras and stuff?
Oh yeah, it has commentary, and it's got the two movies that Tim Burton cartoons that he did.
Did Frank and
Or, yeah, he did Frankenweenie,
Yeah,
which is not a
Frankenweenie.
cartoon; it's a feature, and then he no, not feature, but short.
Short.
Live action short, and then he also had another one called Vincent that's out there.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think they also do commentary. I'm not sure if I think Tim Burton does commentary on it. Usually does.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, he didn't direct it though. Somebody else directed. He just produced, I think, if I'm correct. Could be wrong. Hocus Pocus with a pretty cool like book, steel book.
That's
you
April
know.
Crowell's favorite movie.
What was kind of bad was like this comes with a very cool way to do commentary.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
not gonna lie, this is the coolest. I hope they do more of this. I don't know if this is a Disney thing or if this is just them trying something out, but basically it had not just commentary, but it would have like interviews on the bottom with the people. Then it didn't really have commentary at all. Like the person would say something like an interview that they had, and then they would say like random stuff on it, and I mean it was all over the place. There's different stuff. If they want to point out almost every single thing that was going on in the movie.
But that's like a track you have to activate.
Yeah, you have to activate it. You have to
Okay.
go into it, and then it'll.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat little thing. I was happy with it. So, but yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Didn't watch the whole thing, but it was pretty neat to just see what that was. Very cool set.
Sort
enjoyed
of
that.
reminds me of that. I don't remember which it was, if it was what network had it, but remember they used to do the movies and then that had these bubbles that would pop up that have little information and sometimes little quotes and little stuff. That kind
That's
of
exactly what that is.
Okay,
So it's
Nice.
pretty much doing that. And also another steel book. Is this my last steel book? Nope, I have two other steel books. But here is another steel book because I've been trying to collect more steel books. I want to eventually do a whole haul on all my steel books and stuff like that. But Independence Day Resurgence, which is the second Independence Day, I have not heard good things about this movie.
What a
And
surprise.
if it wasn't $7.50, I wouldn't have bought it. Like if it were like $15, I wouldn't have gotten it. But if it was $7.50, I was like, it's not that bad of a price. I might as well check it out. And I mean, it's okay. It's got two movies. It's got like I think the Blu-ray and the DVD of it and everything, and it's got I think a digital copy and everything. But it's I want to check it out. I think it's still got Bill Pullman. I think comes
I
back.
do like Bill Pullman.
Yeah, I liked him in Spaceballs. That was my favorite thing he's ever done.
I liked him in The Sinner. It's a great show on Netflix.
All right, so this is also from Best Buy as well, but this is another time when I got Patriots Day, which is about the Boston bomber, and it's directed by Peter Berg, who's very well known for like doing like Very Bad Things, and I say that he's done more stuff recently that has been a lot of stuff with Mark Wahlberg. I think he did like 3 movies with Mark Wahlberg. Like there was one where they were trapped in a minor thing or something, coal, whatever one. But this is about the Boston. She's like, I don't like it. And it's based on the dramatic real life manhunt of the Boston Marathon bombers. So looks like it'll be a fun, entertaining movie. It's got special features including Boston Strong, 3 Stories of Courage, Researching the Day, and then Blu-ray exclusives are like the Boston Bond. So a bunch of featurettes. The cast remembers actors meet real life counterparts. So
Bunch of Southies.
all right, your
All
turn.
right.
You're gonna do. He's gonna do his 5.
So, as I've said, I tend to only do certain films in Blu-ray. I just don't know that regular films, it really adds a whole lot. But anything that's sort of visually compelling, I'll usually try and find in Blu-ray, especially if it's got extra commentary or extra featurettes or extra stuff. So at this point, I've really been looking around for movies to sort of fill in holes in my collection of stuff that I had gotten in Blu-ray, especially when Blu-rays first came out. So that's kind of where I've been concentrating, is on classic films. So the first couple are going to be some Westerns. There aren't a whole lot of Westerns that I really, really like, to be perfectly honest, but there are a few out there that I think are classics. Things like, My Darling Clementine and others are out there. I just haven't found them in Blu-ray yet. Maybe Criterion will have them. But in the meantime, I did find Hang 'em High. Isn't maybe quite as classic as some of the other classic ones there, but it's Clint Eastwood, and he always does a good performance, and there's all kinds of good stuff in there. This is the one with Inger Stevens and Ed Begley. So this is always an interesting film. I kind of liked it. Not as good as maybe some of the others, but still good enough. And then we do have one. This is the classic Man with No Name double feature. So it's Fistful of Dollars and Few Dollars More. Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood doing the great spaghetti westerns, and they're so important to the genre in general, and they just did lots of good stuff. So couldn't wait to do those. And I don't think these have anything as far as extras are concerned, unfortunately. I think a lot of the MGM ones are like that. They're kind of bare bones, unfortunately. But it was just nice to be able to get these in Blu-ray. So the third one I've got is a classic movie called The Old Dark House, which is a 1932 movie, okay? And it is James Whale, the director of Frankenstein, and Boris Karloff is in it, and Melvyn Douglas, Charles Laughton, Gloria Stewart, and it is pretty much the template of the old, dark, scary house kind of a film. And as matter of fact, later on, Alfred Hitchcock remakes this later on in 1944 as The Lodger, and it gets remade several times. And actually, this movie itself is actually a remake of a silent film, and I'd love to get my hands on the silent film too. But this one, this is shot in the Universal sets, and it just has all the marks of all the qualities of those great classic 1930s Universal films. The black and white is just gorgeous. The sets are fabulous, and it's a forgotten classic. So this is the first one we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a new show called Forgotten Horror Classics, and this is the movie that we're going to do to lead it off.
Did you get it on Amazon, or did you?
I did. I got this on Amazon.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. I might buy it at some point because, it's got like commentary and stuff, but it's also produced by Carl Lamel or whatever. But the guy who basically also, I believe, if I'm correct, I could be wrong, but he was the director of Dracula, of the Spanish Dracula.
Dracula, which is actually a really good movie.
So he produced this. That's really cool. And I mean, just having it. Boris Karloff and James Whale together again, other than Frankenstein, is pretty neat.
And this is a Cohen Films collection. I don't know a whole lot about them, other than I know they're going to be doing 4K versions of most of these movies. That's like one of his things. So it'll be very interesting. Couldn't wait to get my hands on that one. Speaking of classics, I also got a Hitchcock film, classic Psycho. I know you tend to like Hitchcock a little bit more than I do. This is the one that if you're going to get a Hitchcock film, this is the one. I
got this for my friend for his birthday today. Nice. So it's the exact same one too. So nice. It's really funny.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a really, really well done movie, and this has got the making of, and it's got the shower scene storyboards, and it's got interviews with Hitchcock and Francois Truffaut, and it's got all kinds of good stuff. Commentary with Stephen Rebello, who's the author of Hitchcock and Making of Psycho, and it's one of the classic films, and this is definitely one that I wanted to get in Blu-ray.
Definitely.
And then finally, probably my favorite of the group is one I've been trying to get for quite some time, and that is John Carpenter's Halloween, one of my absolute favorite movies and probably one of the greatest independent films ever made. It is so highly influential, and it is so perfectly made. It's one of the perfect movies that's out there. And this is a 35-year edition, so I mean, I remember seeing this when I was a little kid when it first came out, and it scared the living hell out of everybody in the theaters. It was like an atom bomb going off in theaters at this time. And this has got all kinds of stuff. It's got new commentary with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. It's got a new featurette called The Night She Came Home. And it's got an on-location featurette called 25 Years Later. And it's got all kinds of good stuff on there. And this is an Anchor Bay release. So awesome. Great stuff. Halloween.
All right. So my last haul, I got 7 movies, and these 2 are from. Let's see, these 2 are from there. Okay. All right, just hold them in here.
Oh,
All right, so
poor lady.
I got Batman on Steelbook. I still need Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, and then I've got the whole Batman, and I need Batman or the Dark Knight Rises on Steelbook, and then I've got all of them on Steelbook. All right,
Hi.
all right, okay, dog, come on, lay down.
She wants a snack, I think.
You wanna go grab her one while
Sure.
I continue to do this? Yeah.
Here we go.
Sorry, she needs to get some attention and some love.
Good.
So then, also got Batman Returns, as I said, and I believe these come with like commentary tracks from Tim Burton and a few other things, you know, in there. Then I got House of the End of the Street from 7-Eleven. And they're having like $5 sales of like horror stuff coming.
I've heard
So-
that that's a pretty good film.
Yeah, and it's Jennifer Lawrence and
Oh,
Max
yeah. Love
Max
Jennifer Lawrence.
Thoreau, and Max Thoreau is famous for being on Bates Motel as Norman Bates's brother. So I've been wanting to see this. This is one of the ones. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yay.
This is the 1984 or 80, it's more than that, 87 or 1978. Oh wow! All right, 1978 Body Snatchers. What was cool about this is not only does it have like Donald Sutherland in it and Leonard Nimoy,
Right.
it's also got like Jeff Goldblum.
Right. And this is one of the very, very few times that the remake is almost as good, if not better, than the original. It's actually a fabulous movie.
Yeah, I have not seen this in years. So I need to rewatch.
I got the Blu-ray, the special release Blu-ray of that a couple months ago, if you guys remember, and I watched it, and it was absolutely fabulous. Great movie.
Awesome. And then there's a double feature of Mirrors and Shutter. I got this for Shutter because I have Mirrors on Blu-ray. Though I may get rid of my other Mirrors one unless this one doesn't have any special features and the other one does. Because I don't need to have both of them and, you know, only need one thing. Because it's got both movies and it's, you know, see, that's pretty cool. So, Shutter I've been wanting to see because I'm a huge Joshua Jackson fan, and I've just been wanting to check it out. And I love movies about haunted cameras. Like those are just those kind of things are just fun, you know. 'Cause cameras steal your soul.
course they
Stealing our soul right now.
I don't have a soda steel.
All right, so these are the 2 indie films that I was mentioning that I got that are indie. You know, it could have been on Indie Film Cafe, but I decided not to do that. One is the Toy Box, which after I got it on Blu-ray or like I purchased it on the Blu-ray online, I thought to myself, damn, I should have got it on DVD. And it's not because it's not going to look beautiful, which it will, but it's because I've got all of Jeff Miller's produced films on DVD, and now this one's going to be like not with the whole group, you know, and stuff like that. But Jeff Miller produced this. Jeff Denton wrote it, and Tom Nagel directed it. Tom Nagel also directed Clown Town, and
I want to see that.
yeah, he's also done a bunch of different stuff. So, the Toy Box stars Misha Barton, Denise Richards, let's see, Jeff Denton, Brian Nagel, and a bunch of other people. I think you would know many of the other people, but very fun movie. Jeff Miller did the story with Tom Nagel and Jeff Denton, and it's a fun little movie. It's basically about this haunted RV. These guys take this RV that they bought for a ride, and
Yeah, I think I've seen like either ads for it on Facebook or something. I've seen a couple things pop up for that.
yeah, and basically they find out that it's haunted by like a serial killer who used to ride around in the RV and kill people. So now he is still riding around in the RV and killing people, which, you know, it's kind of fun. I did a review of it, I believe, on horrornews.net, but I may do a review of it on Indie Film Cafe as well, or we may watch it together and see what we think. Last movie I'm so excited I've not seen yet. I'm probably gonna see either today or tomorrow or sometime soon is Puppet Master, the Lilith Reich.
Oh,
This is the newest Puppet Master movie.
nice.
And it's sort of like a bigger budgeted version of
Full Moon, baby.
It's actually not by Full Moon.
No, get
no,
out of here.
they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Full Moon did have something to do with it, but it wasn't really their. Like I think Charles Band. He's an executive producer, but he didn't really. I don't think he had much, say in whatever. He
Okay.
kind of let them do their own thing. But it has an amazing cast. I mean, Thomas Lennon is the main star of it, and you might know him from like Reno 911 or The State and stuff like that. But the other people that I just can't wait to see is Michael Pere is in it, Barbara Crampton
Yay.
and Udo Kier.
Oh, Udo Kier.
Yeah, he's in it as well.
Star of many, many, many 70s and 80s Euro trash films.
Yeah, so special features include a cast. Special features for the toy box was like commentary and trailer behind the scenes. But commentary or the special features for this is cast of Puppet Master, the Lilith Reich, puppets from concept to creation, and Lightning Girl comic from sketch to final and more.
It's interesting because didn't they have a puppet one that was set in like World War II era or
Most of them are actually there's the original is the whole idea of these things was that what's his name I want to say his name God, what was his name? Toulon. Toulon was part of that German, stuff going on during the Nazis, and then in the 80s or whatever, he ended up dying of old age and everything,
Right.
and so then they flash back to like the 1930s or something, or whatever when he was young, and in part 7 they do that. In part 3, I think they have like
Yeah, I definitely remember that in part 3. I haven't seen 7, believe it or not. But
Retro Puppet Master you should see
I should
because
check that out.
no, part 7 has was directed by David Dakota, who did part 3, but also has Greg Sestero.
Oh, really? That's
that was
great.
the movie that Greg Sestero got.
Nice.
And it's mentioned in Disaster Artist that he was going to Romania to
Okay.
film a movie, and Tommy Wiseau went up to his apartment, which was technically still Tommy's apartment. He was just letting him live there. He went
Right.
into his apartment and looked through his paychecks and stuff to see how much he was
Right,
making
right.
because he was worried that his friend was going to leave him to go do.
One can
bigger-
only imagine how history would have been changed if Tommy Wiseau had ended up in a Puppet Master movie. That would have been so amazing.
I don't think it would have.
He would have had his own puppet.
Yeah, he should have. He should still have his.
He should have a puppet.
If you make puppets, go and make a puppet.
Please
of,
make a Tommy Wiseau puppet for us.
That would be
We
great.
would
So
love
we
it.
can hold it and say, "You're tearing me apart."
Tearing me apart! Because to have Continuity Monkey and a little Tommy would just be like the ultimate thing in life.
I know. I would love it. We should talk to Jesse about doing.
We should.
Par Nuts, Tommy Wiseau.
Hi, Dougie.
But anyway, hi, Dougie. Anyway, that's so funny. We're talking about Puppet Master, and we got sidetracked on Tommy Wiseau. That's how we are. But yeah,
That's how
no,
we are.
this is supposedly. I've heard mixed things. Some people like it. Some people weren't thrilled with the fact that they didn't use all the puppets, all the famous puppets or whatever. They have some new puppets, but it looks like all the ones that I liked are the main ones. So,
It's a bunch of wacky, scary puppets. How could you not love it?
that looks like a beaver puppet.
Right,
Like
right.
this just looks like fun. I mean,
And come on, Barbara Crampton. I'll watch anything with Barbara Crampton.
I
She's
know.
marvelous.
she is wonderful, and she's such a sweet lady. Everybody seems to love her, and I'm just glad she's back.
Yay.
She took a little break to raise her
Little hiatus.
family and do all that stuff, but she's back doing what she loves, and people are. I think she was just so surprised that people like love her that much
Oh,
and
yeah.
want to
Oh,
get her
yeah.
out there, and so this is the perfect time.
She's well loved.
She is, and so And I think that just shows her personality is like she's such a sweetheart that she
We-
doesn't even think that much.
We need to get to a con where she is and do an interview. That would be
That'd
so
be-
fabulous.
That would be great. So Barbara Crampton, if you're ever at a convention, we are coming to see you.
Please come talk to us.
So anyway, that was it of my haul. It wasn't as big as I was hoping. I was still hoping to get at least 15. I got 13. I think I missed 2. I was gonna get 2, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't need it.
Not a big
You
deal.
know, it's not a big deal right now. So I got 13. You got 5. Check our Indie Film Cafe haul because he got way more than I did, and I've got more DVDs on that one. Which is surprising because normally I've been on the hunt for Blu-rays and not DVDs. But there's some movies that I just don't feel like I'm starting to agree with you. Don't feel like they need to be on Blu-ray. Exactly. Now, Toy Box I believe should be on Blu-ray because it was filmed in high definition. Puppet Master filmed in high definition. Things like that. But films that are shot in like small cameras and things like that, they don't,
It's not going to benefit.
yeah, if they're not really being like fixed up for Blu-ray, I shouldn't really buy them. But I'll buy all the Troma ones because they cost the same as the DVDs pretty much and stuff. So I might as well.
And we should mention that when this comes out, it'll be the very beginning of October, which is cool. But then the next month, it's going to be another Criterion special for November, right?
So November should have a huge haul.
We should have a big haul for November.
I don't know, a big Blu-ray haul particularly. I don't know how many I'm going to be able. Well, I have a new job, so hopefully I can afford a lot more.
He's a working man.
I've got a new job, so hopefully I'll be able to afford some of those Blu-rays.
He's been hired on as Continuity Monkey's chauffeur, drive him around to all his babes.
No, that's it. All right, well, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to click like and check out Blu-ray Hunter on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also I think sickflickproductions.com is our main site for it. I don't know. I may be getting rid of Blu-ray Hunter on that site just because I just don't have much going on with this. So I don't know. We'll see. Go to Sick Flick Productions. If it's still on there, great. If not, sorry.
Click like to save the Blu-ray Hunter.
But
we're always going to do a haul video of some kind.
Oh, we will. No, we'll be doing Blu-ray Hunter. It's just going to be Blu-ray Hunter the last, the end of the month hauls. That's about it. That's all I can
Hauling in
take.
all those Blu-rays.
Yeah, that's all I can take.
A big fishing net.
Because I just got so much going on. But we appreciate everybody. I'm not expecting this to be a huge subscription kind of thing. If you guys are fans of Blu-rays, come check this page out.
Doing it for the love.
Yep. All right, well, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Peace.
Uh-oh.